So today I'll be covering our most frequently asked questions about bottle service at Encore Beach Club. And to give you guys a sneak peek of what's ahead, I'll be answering questions like, are there discounts? Which tables have shade? Can you skip the line? And how many people are really allowed at a table? All that and more coming up. Hey guys, I'm Jenna, and this is Vegas Primer, your inside club source. On this channel, we help you understand how Vegas clubs work, and we reveal our insider information along the way. Now, if you're wondering what we do, we book bottle service reservations at all the clubs in town. So if you're in need of a price quote, please feel free to email us at info@vegasprimer.com. Now, before we get started, please consider subscribing to our channel. That way, when we release our next Vegas Club video, you'll be the first to know. Also, I have a quick question for you. How many of you have been to Encore Beach Club? Please let us know in the comments below by typing either yes or no. All right, let's get into it. Here's our first most frequently asked question about bottle service at Encore Beach Club. Question number 1, can I order individual drinks with a table reservation? So there's a reason why bottle service is called bottle service, right? You're supposed to order bottles. But that said, as long as you order at least a bottle or two, most clubs in Vegas are okay with you ordering a few individual drinks here and there. What they don't want to have happen is have their cocktail servers running between the bar and your table all day long. That's not efficient for the club, and that's not really what their job is. So as long as you order at least a bottle or two and then order maybe a few individual drinks after that, then it's usually okay. But just check with your cocktail server when you get there, and she'll let you know if it's okay to do. Question number 2, do I have to pay for the table and bottles on top? No, you do not. So here's how it works at all clubs in Las Vegas. Let's take an example of a lily pad at Encore Beach Club. Let's just say that it's a price of $2,000. So what that means is you need to spend at least $2,000 at the club to have a lily pad as your table. There's no charge for the lily pad because they're providing it complimentary for agreeing to spend at least $2,000 at the club. And so as long as you spend that amount, you're fine. If you spend less than that, you'll still be charged with $2,000. And if you spend more than that, then you'll also be responsible for the $2,000 plus any overage. But there is no separate charge for the table itself. Question number 3, does food count towards your minimum spend requirement? Yes, in most cases it does, all right? So there are a few exceptions and I'll go over them in a second. So at the majority of the tables at Encore Beach Club, you can order food and it will count towards your minimum spend requirement. You can also order any bottles off the bottle menu, and those will count towards your minimum spend requirement as well. So if you get a day bed, if you get a cabana, a bungalow, an L couch, a DJ table, beach couch, should I say beach couch? Anyway, you get the idea. Any of the ones that are not in the water, you can order food at. So then that brings us to the next question, which is which table options can you not order food at? And those would be any tables that are located in the pools themselves. So if you're looking at a lily pad or a water couch, those you will not be able to order any food items. And the reason for that is because they're actually in the pool and the club doesn't want any food getting in the water. Just a quick side note too, I used to think that the lily pads were like in the middle of the pool and you had to swim out to get to your table. That's not the case, okay? So the lily pads and the water couches are along the shallow section of the pool. So, I mean, it's really like only like a foot deep. And so it's really nice. They're a great spot for waiting. And then you can just jump in the pool from there as well. So then if you can't order food though, what are you gonna do if you get hungry? So you can definitely still order food. All you have to do is go to the walk-up grill, order your food there. You will have to pay for it separately. It won't count towards the minimum spend requirement, but you can eat it wherever you feel like, just not near the pool. And that way you can, satisfy your hunger. I do think though that if you are interested in a lily pad or a water couch, there's still a fantastic option. In fact, they're one of my absolute favorite table options at Encore Beach Club. So I wouldn't really let that deter you, because at the most, you're probably gonna be spending, $50 to $100 on food. So I think it's still totally worth it, even if it doesn't count towards the minimum spend requirement. Question number 4, what time do I need to arrive? All right, so on almost all days that Encore Beach Club is open, the club requests that bottle service guests arrive by 11 a.m. Now, there are some days, like really popular Saturdays or on a holiday weekend, where we would recommend that you even arrive before that, like at 10:30 a.m. or even 10 a.m. This will get you the fastest entry into the club, so you're not waiting in line. And yes, table reservations do have an expedited and dedicated line, but there can still be a considerable wait time, especially if you arrive later on. So we always recommend arriving early on the very in-demand days, which is usually almost every Saturday. Now on Fridays and Sundays, it's not usually as busy as Saturday, but it's still going to be a fantastic crowd. And Encore is #1 on a lot of Fridays and Sundays too. So we still recommend getting there by 11 a.m. Now, all that said, this is just between you and me and completely off the record, okay? I am not guaranteeing anything. But from our experience, if you arrive by noon, then you're usually okay. After 12 p.m., then your table may be at risk for being released for resale, and that's not cool. Even if you paid a deposit, they'll release it. So you need to get there as soon as possible. We do recommend that you adhere to the rules of the club and arrive by 11. I'm just saying, all right, just saying that you could maybe push it a little. I wouldn't necessarily push it on Saturdays though, but Fridays, Sundays, usually okay. So that's just between us, okay? Thanks. Question number 5. Can I skip the line? So on some days, there may be a line skip option available. So if you get to the club and you're standing in line and you think that it looks like it's going to be a really long wait, there may be a host that's walking by the line. You could ask that person, or you could send one person to the front. I would definitely keep the rest of your group in line though, because if there aren't any options available, you definitely don't want to be out of line and then have to get back in it again. Now, the person at the front, what you want to ask is, are there any line skip options available for table service reservations? Now, if there are any available, they will let you know, and there's going to be a cost for it. So at that point, you can make the decision if you want to pay that amount to get in the club a little bit faster, or if you want to wait in line. All that said, the club does really try their best to move people through the line as fast as possible. So either way, you're probably going to be fine. But if you don't want to wait, there may be that additional option available to you. Question number 6, are there any discounts? So at Encore Beach Club, you're not going to find freebies like complimentary bottles. Now, those are available at some other clubs. Like we can usually do that at Daylight Beach Club, which is also an excellent club. Also draws a very great crowd on the weekends. So if you are interested in that, please email us at info@vegasprimer.com and we'll see what we can do there for you. But as far as Encore is concerned, they don't have those freebies. It's just such a super popular club. They don't offer those. Now, all that said, we do have very competitive pricing on our table options there. So please reach out to us at info@vegasprimer.com and we will get you a price quote for the date that you'd like to go. And I think you'll be really happy with the minimum spends that we can offer. Number 7, what if I have more people in my party than the table allows? All right, so what this question is referring to is the fact that Encore Beach Club has a maximum number of guests listed next to each table option. So for example, maybe you're interested in getting a lily pad and the lily pad is a $2,000 minimum spend. That price is valid for up to 6 people. So the question becomes, well, what happens if I have 7 people or 8 people? Can I still get the lily pad? And yes, of course, you definitely can. The best way to go about it is just to contact us and we'll reach out to the club to get you a quote for that day. Usually they're just going to increase the minimum spend slightly. Now, that brings us to the next issue slightly, is if you don't know in advance that you're going to have extra people in your party, let's say you think you're gonna have 6 and maybe, on the day of an extra person decides to come, what happens at that point? So in that case, once you're in the bottle service line, you just let the club know that you have 7 people and they'll either charge the cost of a ticket or they'll increase the minimum slightly. Usually when they increase the minimum slightly, it's around $200 to $250. Again, that's just an estimate. But if you are interested in a table option and you have a few more extra people, please let us know. We would be happy to help you out with that. Question number 8, what if I want to invite more people to my table? So this one is different than the previous question because this is about what happens once you're inside the club. Can you invite people to your table at that point? The previous question was about what happens in the bottle service line, how many people can go through that line together for the price. So let's say that you are a group of 6 guys and you're at a lily pad, because I'm on the lily pad example today, and you meet 6 other women. Can you invite them to your table and have them share in your alcohol? And the answer is yes, you most definitely can. The club isn't going to care if you invite 4, 5, 6 women to join you. It's totally fine. The issue becomes if you invite a lot of people to join you, right? So they don't want to see like 20 people at a 6-person table. That's probably not going to fly. So just keep it within reason and you guys will be good. Question number 9, is there enough seating for everyone in my party? So at most clubs in Las Vegas, you're not going to have enough seating for every single person to sit down all at the same time. Now, you will have seating. That's guaranteed. There's a table, you'll have seating. But as far as every single person being able to sit down at the same time, probably not the case unless you're buying like a cabana, and then a cabana has a couch inside. It also has a day bed outside, so there's a lot of space there. But if you're getting a beach couch and the total number of people allowed at a beach couch is 6, then it's a couch. So, I mean, trying to cram 6 people on it is really not going to work. But 4 people, that would probably be sufficient. I really don't think this is that big of a deal though, because not every single person is going to be wanting to sit down at the same time. I mean, you're there to have a good time. Everyone's kind of up dancing. You might be in the pools. You might be walking around. So it usually works out for most groups, even though there isn't going to be seating for everyone all at once. Question number 10. Where can I store my belongings? So totally understand this one. Nobody wants to be holding onto their stuff all day. They want to be partying the day away instead and not worrying about where your passport is or where your purse is. So at certain table options like a cabana or a bungalow, you're going to have a safe there and you can safely store all of your stuff, lock it away for the day, and you'll be fine. At other table options like lily pads or beach couches, they don't have a safe at those. So the best option, in my opinion, is to rent a locker for the day. Now, the club does state that they're not responsible for any lost or stolen items, so just keep that in mind. You know, if you don't want to risk that at all, hang on to it and don't put it into a locker. But if you are interested in a locker, you can rent those. They are first come, first served though, and they go fast. So we would recommend getting to the club early at club opening, usually 10 or 10:30 a.m. to grab one of those lockers so that you don't have to worry about your stuff for the rest of the day. Question number 11, is there shade? Yes, Encore Beach Club has table options with shade. Almost all of them actually have shade except for one, which I'll cover in a second. Now, if you want complete shade, you don't want any sun hitting you, you're going to want to check out the cabanas, both upper and lower, and the bungalows, also both upper and lower. Those will provide complete sun protection. And then also the gaming tables. Now, the gaming tables are one of my absolute favorite table options if you don't want any sun at all. They are phenomenally located within the club itself. They are centered across the pool from the DJ booth. The value you get there and to have no sun at all, it's just amazing. So if sun is an issue for you, like it is for me, check out the gaming tables. I think you'll really like those. Now the rest of the table options will have partial shade. And that's going to be provided by an umbrella. You'll have that at a day bed, a lily pad, an L couch, a water couch. All of those are going to have, it's not full shade protection, but there is going to be an umbrella there, so part of your table will be shaded. The only table option that we've seen that doesn't always have shade is a beach couch. There may be some that are next to an umbrella or some that are under an awning, but there are some that don't have any shade. So the best thing to do is just get to the club early and see if they can seat you at a table that has some shade if you are interested in a beach couch, but it's not guaranteed. The club won't guarantee a specific table number. So just keep that in mind. If you are interested in a beach couch, it might be a better idea just to upgrade to the next one up so that you do have an umbrella to provide shade for you. Question number 12, do I have to bring a passport? Now this is for anyone that is not a US resident. If you're coming here from another country, do you need to bring your passport to the club? And in Encore's fine print, it states that you do. You need to bring both your passport and your government issued ID for entry. Now, we have seen times when people haven't brought their passport and they've gotten in just fine. And then other times where the club has said no, and you have to go back to your hotel room and get your passport. So it probably comes down to how well security knows a particular country's ID and if they can tell if it's valid. I mean, that's just my assumption, but I would just keep that in mind. I would definitely bring both if you can. It's just not worth the hassle to have to go back to your hotel room and get your passport. You're just gonna have to get in line again. It's kind of gonna throw off your whole day. So I would just recommend bringing both because that's what it does state in their fine print, but it is up to security to decide. So it's up to you if you wanna take that risk or not. Question number 13, our last and final most frequently asked question about bottle service at Encore Beach Club is, what's the best value day? Well, any day other than Saturday is really going to score you a good price on table service. So Saturdays are going to be the highest, usually, price days. So like a lily pad on a Saturday might be $3,000, but on a Friday or Sunday in that same week, it might be $1,500. So there's a savings of 50% off the bottle service minimum, which is just phenomenal. And Encore really does have a great crowd on Fridays and Sundays too. So I would have no issues about booking table service on a Friday or a Sunday as compared to a Saturday. You're still gonna have a fantastic time. All right, so that does it for our most frequently asked questions about Encore Beach Club bottle service. If you are in need of a price quote for the date that you'd like to go, please feel free to email us at info@vegasprimer.com and we'll get back to you right away. So thanks for checking out this video. Please subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you are interested in finding out more Vegas Club information, head on over to our website, vegasprimer.com. Until next time, I'm Jenna, and this is Vegas Primer, where we bring you the best tips and tricks for navigating the Vegas Club scene. I'll see you guys again soon.